Moin, Servus, and welcome to the fifth and final day of the ACT Italy. In today's video you will get to see how I almost fall off a cliff, some of the best twisty mountain roads, and finally we arrive at the Adriatic Coast. So if you're interested, then stay in the video. The last day starts in Leonessa, which doesn't have many hotels to offer. So I had to travel quite some distance in the morning to get back to the ACT from my hotel. Additionally, I decided to visit a workshop to have my cylinder head cover fixed, which I had bent the day before during my 2 crashes. That brings us to the start of the riding day.
And now, not too far outside the city, we should actually start to see some off-road parts again. So let's see how challenging they are, because yesterday definitely stopped on a more challenging part. Yeah, I think we are going there. Yep. So, let's get the damn thing into Enduro Pro. And we are on our way. Yep. I should probably just shut up and not say it. But I was a bit afraid that today it would start harder. After yesterday stopped quite challenging. But usually whenever I say, well, it's not that difficult, huh? Around the next corner it starts to get difficult, so okay. Haha, water crossing, official water crossing. Another one. Hey. Oh, but there's water here. I guess there's some kind of creek somewhere, or again, maybe some water source here. Ooh. Maybe we should not drink the water with that dead crow. Oh yeah, it's a spring. This is the best road I think I've had this whole trip. And as usual, completely empty. If there was a street like this in Germany, there would be camper after camper after camper after camper. This is a dangerous day, guys. I'm gonna say it as it is. If I have twisty mountain roads, I completely forget about everything that is around, which I shouldn't. But I just forget about everything that is around and I just focus on the street because I love it. I just love it so much. But I think I will take this specific moment right here also for myself to take some pictures again and so on, so I don't forget about the freaking landscape and talking about what I see and so on. So let's have a look. If I think over there is a good spot to stop, because then people can see me up front already, then I'm not just right behind the corner, right? I mean, how much more contrast do you want, right? Just a second before I was hunting some twisties, and now we are slowly descending down this hill, carefully, completely or almost completely overgrown track here. Yeah, just after a stretch, very short stretch of road, we'll end up on this very nice stretch of gravel track here right through the center of the valley. I assume that we will eventually go up one of these mountains, but I can be wrong. I do recall something with 12 switchbacks or something like that. So let's see if this will be here at the end of the valley already, or if we need to travel a little further. Yeah, this looks exactly like those switchbacks. So what I will do, I will take the chance for a short break here in the shadow. Nobody should ever say I don't learn from my mistakes, right? So yesterday I tackled something that I wasn't ready for. So today we're gonna do something different. Yeah, this looks exactly like it. So we are here at 900 meters, and we will climb to about 1,050, somewhere between 1,100 and 1,150 in a reasonably short time, as it seems. So, okay, the first one seems to be quite nice. Some loose rocks here, but that's it. Okay. It's only the first step, but it's already worth it. And now we have exactly that situation that I was asking about. So uphill, loose gravel, deep gravel. Do you lean back or do you still lean forward? Yeah. So then maybe something in between, because what seems to be okay. Seems to be okay is if I'm not completely lean forward. Ooh, that was a bad angle, Jan. Could have ended differently. So from a feeling so far, something in between, eh? Not fully lean forward, not fully lean back. Das war dumm. That was stupid. It's interesting that in these situations where you want to swear or do something similar, you always resort back to your native language, right? Wow. Still have a couple more left, but still. Yeah, we've just been down there. You maybe are able to see the small track down there. Now we are already quite far up. Couple more left, almost at the top there. Nice. And just around the corner, when you get around the tip of the mountain, this is what you see and what the reward basically is. This is a pretty cool, like, top plateau sort of thing. Worth it, absolutely. Very nice place here. Not only the landscape and the road has changed, but also the trees. I don't know if you have paid attention to that, but the majority of the riding so far has been in leaf trees. I don't know, trees with regular leaves on them. And now it starts to change more into pine cone and pine trees generally. Casually talking about trees while doing a downhill on loose gravel and stones. Yeah, the important things, of course, in life. It doesn't look like much, but maybe. But due to the loose gravel, it is a balancing act. There we just had it. This is exactly what I was there. Okay. This is exactly what I was waiting for the whole time already. It's like, well, we came up, so somewhere we need to come down again, right? Come, tractor. Whew. This is where the engine just saved my ass. Whew. Sorry that I'm not talking that much, but I'm really focusing. And I really need to focus. What do I need to focus on, maybe? From my point of view, I have to prevent myself from target fixation. You maybe have seen that every once in a while, every time when I get too slow and everything gets shaky, is where I start to focus on something unimportant, where I should just pull through. without worrying about it. But it's always easier said than done, right? And despite the 4 days of practice now, this is still not ingrained 100%, but I found it interesting. Marchand, the trainer at the off-road training where I was, he said he didn't experience it as much ever with any nationality, unlike us Germans. We Germans really like to focus on specific details and forget about the big picture behind it. And you can notice that even on off-road riding, that we are just how we always said it, do not count the stones, right? But that's something ingrained within us apparently, as a nationality or as a nation. I guess that's why we are not that bad at engineering and stuff like that, coming up with some ideas because we can really hone in on one specific problem. But that's why sometimes our stuff is over-engineered, because we forget to see the whole picture around it and make it also somewhat easy for everybody, for example. Yeah. Trying to get a little philosophical here right now, right? Who would have thought? Yep, typical me. This is exactly what I meant, right? Focusing on one specific task and ignoring what you can see around you. And once again, we're on one of these plateaus here in the middle, or right in the valley. Yeah, this is typical me, yeah. Ignoring the landscape around. And just around the corner, the next interesting valley. What's not so nice is the street, because there's plenty of gravel on the tarmac. And I do like gravel and I do like tarmac, but I do not like gravel on tarmac. So, yeah, and then it's also sometimes steep. So better safe than sorry here. Oh, here turns at least back to gravel. I can live with that. So this is definitely not the best lunch that I had all week, but I would argue it's the best spot to have it at. Look at this. Can't get much better, I think. Besides my lunch break, what I've also done, I pumped up the tires. I have an battery-driven compressor with me, so the front is back to 2.4, the rear 2.6. And the other thing that I really wanted to share, in the roughly 30 minutes that I spent here, there was one car passing by and 3 bicycle riders. That's it. Nobody else is driving through here. You know, it's such a nice place. Maybe that's the good thing. That way it stays a nice place, right? Good. I will continue and see you later on. By the way, this is like a officially, I would say, B road and maybe even A road, supposedly. Pretty much at the beginning of the video that these twisty mountain roads might be difficult for me to show enough of the landscape, but with this kind of roads, yeah, I will show more of them. This kind of reminds me of the last time I've been to Italy. We were using the Kalimoto app, to find nice twisty mountain roads and so on, or just to, not really to find, we just had a starting point for every day and roughly an end point for every day in mind, and then we used Kalimoto to bring us there, right? And we ended up on a lot of roads which were similar to this, because in the end Kalimoto does not really know what the condition of the street is going to be. It can only say, oh yeah, it's one of the main roads, it's twisty, so you can go there. And for me it was okay. It's not a lot of fun in terms of riding twisties. It's an adventure for sure. But my friend who was traveling with me, he was on the R1300GS and on the R1300GS, and he did not enjoy his time there, I can tell you. She was happy to see me. Ah, ski lift, ja. Ah. I think I know what we are seeing there. Well, or not seeing there because of the visibility. But that should be the Adriatic Coast, right? On the back, yeah, that should be the sea already. Finally a street where we can also use the dynamic mode, huh? This was so much fun. It is what it is. This kind of street riding is still my absolute favorite. Yeah, I can't help it. I just can't help it. I just love it. This is so much fun. And again, these tires, there we are, guys. There we are. Yeah, guys, we made it. 5 days. We made it exactly to the target location. The last day was quite cool. The beginning, the off-road part was quite challenging, actually. And due to that, it felt like it was more than just the mentioned 35% on the homepage. Actually felt a bit more than that. Besides that though, what is my verdict? I am super stoked that I managed this. As said and as mentioned, I am still an absolute beginner. I have done 3 days of training just like a week ago. And now I'm here at the end of the 5th day of the ACT. I only fell down twice, which happened, of course, all on the 4th day. But that had to happen eventually. Yeah, this is how it goes. Today went relatively smooth. Yeah, there were challenging parts and I still managed it. So without a training, I don't think this is possible at all. You need to have some kind of training, or of course, if you are an enduro specialist or something like that, an MX rider, completely different story, of course. But if you are like me, originally just a street rider, and you come to something of a behemoth like this one, then be aware that it can be quite challenging and you really need to commit in some of the places. Guys, if you liked the series, if you liked this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up, give us a comment, that would be great. And even better if you would consider to subscribe. Until then, see you in another video.